It's complicated to choose a side. I would say that in some circumstances I lean towards the Konas, in some circumstances I lean towards the Itza. This is because the values that the Konas have, the history they represent, which is not something, even though it is something modern, it is not something that is just starting now but has been around for a long time. It is something ancestral. That is very valuable to me. Likewise, all this history and mysticism of the Itza, and of course they are an important part of the region, makes me lean towards them. So I would say that depending on the point of the story, I tilt the balance. The design of the Itza, the values that it conveys or wishes to convey, are precisely rooted in loyalty to the clan, in that respect for tradition, for culture, for these Mayan roots that represent the Itza. And likewise, it conveys that symbolism that through the mystical, through the ancestral, through all these facets that the Itza have gone through to exist today in where they are, in the time they inhabit. For Purple Light and particularly for me, collaborating with Agua Films in this Mayan universe has been a pleasant experience so far. I am very honored to be part of this project. For us, it has been a mystical adventure, an adventure full of challenges, and of course we are excited for everything that is coming.
The most weekend of the Mayan customs, why would it have a title in English? So we decided to return it to Spanish, The Arrow of Anger, and this is the title we wanted to convey.
It must have the strength, the anger must have the prominence, even to be able to work on this image, on this redesign, refinement of the logo. It's important that we consider a couple of things, and that is if you see this typeface that has been used has certain series, right, up to certain ornaments. Now we know that from this point to what remains, many more adventures are coming. Definitely, one of the biggest challenges we had in the studio was that although we already had inspiration, for example, themes from the Mayan culture, it had to be just inspiration. It didn't have to be a copy, a replica of what exists or what we know of the Mayan culture, since it is a parallel story. So for us, that challenge of adapting what already exists to something within the universe of the Itza, within, of course, the universe of the Konas, with well-established sources of inspiration, was an intellectual and creative challenge that has been fascinating. Excitement, if I had to translate it into one word to that, because imagine a point of discovery as viewers. We are like those audiovisual archaeologists, and when we encounter something different but that we know, like this universe of the Itza, inspired by the culture, the Mayan culture, it must be exciting. You must want to know more. I love to think that that part of what this synergy of collaboration has done is precisely that we identify with values.
Helping people who cannot walk, things like that, related to medicine, but all connected to transhumanism. So all that can generate a debate about whether it is good or bad. You can see them as the bad guys, right? And the Mayans would be the good guys, or it could be the other way around. Here we believe it's a debate about choosing your team, no? Right?
I am Team Kona or I am Team Itza. Alright, each one definitely has its benefits.
For example, the Itza would have their traditions, their culture, their way of seeing the world because of the mysticism, the struggle, the prophecy even, which they do not question, right? Those religious themes are extremely profound, because then what makes us think? Well, based on the culture, which we do not question, precisely the one you mentioned, that makes us think that the Mayan people did not need, yes, they needed, it was certain they did not need, yes, they needed something. Then it will be that we lean more towards the Itzas, are from the region, and not towards the Konas because they don't belong here. But what if it were the other way around? from the production with Sebastián, with Ángel, and on Lagua Films in the development of this whole project of the Arrow of Wrath. Part of the values that they share, like respect not only towards work but towards the roots of both the Konas and the Itza, how they have respected history, how they respect all that already exists, loyalty to values not only in the characters but within the production and within each step they take towards a new episode, towards a new script, towards a production, even towards an interview. All the steps they take with respect, with loyalty, and always with this creative freedom, which is of course quite a challenge, having different thoughts and agreeing but moving the project forward. That has largely been part of what has united us, those values that the Lagoa Films team and the entire production of The Arrow of Wrath share with the studio. It's complicated to define it in a single word, but if I had the opportunity to choose three, it would be passion, art, and dedication. Definitely, you can feel the passion throughout the project. You can see the art. The whole universe is an incredible, masterful piece, and of course the dedication. This implies the challenges that have had to be overcome so far, and of course those that are coming are amazing. It's amazing that all this is taking shape, and it's a pleasure to collaborate with Lagoa Films and La Flecha de la Ira so that more people can learn about the Mayan culture, so that more people can know this great story.